afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to continuing coverage of the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship from Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida. This event presented by the American Pool Players Association. Our coverage here this afternoon brought to you by our friends at PoolDog.com. I'm your host, Jason Bowman. Got Double J, Jeremy Jones with me here. Be guiding you through what is now the hot seat match in this year's Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. We've got two ladies still undefeated. Our final two. One, the winner of this match, will move on to the final. The other will have a little more work cut out for them. But before we get into the players, let's take a look at the format. This is a race to 5, combination of 8-ball and 9-ball. You can see up to 3 games of 8-ball, 6 games of 9-ball, double elimination, as we just mentioned. And the winner of the lag chooses the break or the format. In this case, I believe the winner of the lag, Nathalie Jacob, has chosen the format. So her opponent, Tina Larsen, will have the break. Before we go to the table, let's hear a quick word from our friends at PoolDog.com.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PoolDog.com. You want pool cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PoolDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
All right, back in action here at Strokers. Tina Larsen preparing to break. Looks like she's ready to go. Nathalie Jacob, who took the lag, has opted to start in the 9-ball set.
Oh, 9. Oh, no. Excuse me. That was the 5. I thought I saw a ball go in the side pocket, but no.
Close on that one ball, but just
sure
not
was.
quite. So, table is open. Seeing Nathalie Jacob. Nathalie's from Montreal.
Yeah, Nathalie, from what I've seen, we haven't seen her here on the stream this event, but watched her a little bit on one of the other. We've seen her on the stream, but not the main table, but saw her practice the other night for a couple hours, just like many of the ladies I saw, and takes the game very seriously from what I could tell. Seemed like a very knowledgeable player.
Well, I can tell you this, Jeremy, her first time here at the U.S. Amateur Championship, and here she is.
Wow.
Poised to move into potentially the final round of competition here. So definitely a strong player.
Yeah, whoever wins this match has no worse than second place.
That's
locked
right.
up. But
Nathalie, 56 years old, been playing pool 25 years. Looks like she took quite a break, though. Hadn't played in 12 years, came back in March of 2019. So
okay.
Apparently she's picking up right where she left off.
Well, I'd commented earlier that I wouldn't have doubted at some time or another that she had tried to play some type of professional pool or pool as a career. Because from what I saw, really didn't have wasn't missing a whole lot from what I saw when I saw her and another lady practicing.
Well, Nathalie's going to have her hands full with Tina Larsen. Tina, again, undefeated and a former champion, 2-time champion here at the Women's U.S. Amateur. So I believe we've probably got a good match ahead of us. Strong match. Wouldn't be surprised. We've seen our last two now go hill-hill.
Yeah.
Make it 3 for 3 in this hot seat match. Again, that means the winner's going to move on to the final. The loser will still be in the tournament. They'll have to win another match to move on.
Oh, great shot there, rail first on the 3-ball. At first I thought she was trying to kick safe there, but definitely going with the offensive choice. And medium, tough little shot on the 4 on the side. The side pockets, not unlike the corners, you don't have the rail to run the ball in a little bit. So side pockets can be a little tricky at certain angles.
We are down to the final 4 players.
Now I'm curious if the 6 passes the 7. I haven't really seen her pay much attention to the 6 and the 7 just yet through the rack. And normally when there's a problem and you're trying to run out, you sometimes, or most of the time, would address it prior to, when it's time to play shape on that 6. So something tells me maybe it goes right by the 7. Now, the one thing she's got to worry about here is she doesn't want to catch the 8 and slow the cue ball down. She wants to go just on the left side of the 8, if possible. Okay, and I'll tell you what, very similar to what I saw the other night when I was watching her warm up. Just, you know,
strong to very strong.
Yes, I saw very experienced, very not making many mental errors, and usually when you can think well, that means the nerves are in check pretty well. You can usually execute. Probably the most out of line she's been is on this little 7 ball. There's a little more angle there than appears, so going to be difficult to hold the cue ball for the 8. She's either going to have to hit it with a real deft touch or maybe move the cue ball a couple rails. Nice shot.
I mentioned we're down to the final 4 here at the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. There's one other match in play. Jennifer Brzezinski, who just defeated Teresa Garland, and Stacy Bourbeau, who we saw defeat Amy Peterson in the last round. They are squaring off. That's over on YouTube, our YouTube channel, youtube.com/APA Leagues. The winner of that match will face the loser of the hot seat match.
Yeah, and a nice tournament to Amy and Teresa both.
Absolutely.
They both played strong.
Tied for 5th place.
Yeah, and getting eliminated on the heel, so that's what a lot of people don't realize about some of these tournaments. When you come down to it, it's really 1 or 2 shots that really make the difference between 1st and like 4th place sometimes.
Right.
It doesn't take much.
Nathalie pockets that 9 in the corner. She is off to a solid start, up 1-0 in a race to 5.
Yeah, and making a statement there after a dry break, clearing the table on her first inning here in the hot seat match.
Mm-hmm.
And these ladies both also, and we talked about it, there's a choice between the players. If they both agree to use a template, they're allowed. But one thing I thought about earlier, we're wondering why they didn't, but these players that have played a long time, they can rack the balls a lot quicker with the triangle, especially if the table's not giving them any issues. And It seems like this table's been racking real nice. So.
I can only remember one of our matches that we've done the last 2 days that used the template. That was early yesterday. It seems like everybody's opted for the standard rack.
And that was only on the 9-ball side of the match. They do make a template for 8-ball, and it works actually quite well. But probably the least, the template you see used the least out of all of them between the 9-ball, 10-ball, and the 8-ball template. So Tina, pretty smart player from what I've seen. Probably going to shoot the 1 up the table behind the 5 and 8 and try and drift the cue ball behind the 2, I'm guessing. She could edge the right side of the 1 and try and run the cue ball, but any mishit there can cause some problems. Yeah, and that's what happens a lot also when you try to edge the ball. You're trying to hit it so paper thin, that way you don't lose control of the 1. That at all levels, I've seen that whiff, that air in the ball on one side happen quite often. Okay, so Nathalie eyeing up position from the 2 to the 3. And again, I really liked what she was looking at. She was looking at trying to get just past the 8 to the center of the table, leaving herself a 1-rail angle on the 2 to come back across the table for the 3 in the lower left. Of course, plans always change and pull.
Yeah.
Because 1 inch on the cue ball one way or another can make all the difference in the world. But that's perfect. She wants more angle. That more angle always creates easier cue ball movement. So she probably went 2 or 3, 4 inches further than she would have liked. But still a manageable angle to, she's got to put a little more speed on the cue ball now to stun it back across where she had laid her cue. about where the middle diamond is on the side rail, a little bit further maybe. Yeah, great shot. And really, the cue ball really kind of on a string to start this match. Now she's going to have to shoot the 3 and run into the 4. The only problem with that is the 5 and the 8 kind of cover up the right side of the table as far as opening the 4 for a shot. And most likely she's going to kick the 4 upward, and the cue ball's kind of replace the 4, so could have some distance on this shot. She's got to hit it easy. And that's what I was talking about as far as the 8 maybe covering up that upper right corner. Now she's got a thin one in the side, but not easy.
Kind of looking back over Nathalie's course through the bracket, she has not had any closer than like a 5-3 match. Beat Teresa Garland 5-2, Rachel Lang 5-3, Erica Harley 5-2, Carrie Vetrono 5-2. So she's been a force to be reckoned with here in her first U.S. Amateur Championship appearance. See if she can keep it up.
Well, shots like that and clearing that last table we saw, she may have got snookered here. I don't know. But still, you know, that's basically how a pro would have played that ball on the side. A lot of players want to roll that ball in, making it easier, but she recognized she needed to draw the cue ball to the side rail from that thin angle. If you can see it there, not easy at all, and a shot you would say takes a little nerve. So very impressed by Nathalie. And I was going to say this, if she is hooked, the curve shot is not very difficult. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wow, what has she done wrong yet? Nothing. And faced very straight here. But, you know, I'm wondering from what I've seen, you know, I'm guessing she knows how to cheat the pocket with the object ball, which will create some easy cue ball movement, or easier.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, we started bragging too much on her.
Yeah. There you go. Commentator's
Tina Larsen.
curse.
Yeah, I know. You wouldn't believe how many matches I've made people lose over the years. Tina Larsen, another shot at the table here. Tina having a strong run in this tournament as well.
We saw her switch hands on a shot in her last match and did it easily. Okay, watch out here for that upper corner. Make a clear-cut decision again. I'm going to try and get to that side rail, or am I going to float it? Okay, she made sure. She's going to want that one to slow down a little bit, though. Hitting it with draw English. Okay, so going to have a little bit of a tester on the 9 and on the rail doing so. So didn't like it on the 8-ball so much as far as trying to hit it thinner and get to the side rail. She felt like she might scratch, so trying to take control of the cue ball. And a little out of line on the 9, but makeable.
Bring Nathalie back to the table.
And that corner pocket there has really shut the door on a lot of 9 balls today in these
That it has.
in these matches. Okay, this type of shot here is All about making that full stroke. These balls cut easily down the rail with a nice, clean, full stroke. Don't really have to hit it that hard. Somewhere around medium. Yeah, like that. Nice shot.
Nicely done there by Nathalie Jacob, now leading 2-0. That is the second of up to 6 racks of 9-ball that we'll see. She will once again have the break. Tina Larsen will prepare the rack.
Yeah, and when I mean, it's anybody's game anyway, right? I mean, no matter how they start the format at this stage, especially, we only have 4 players left, and we know that they're all solid players, some former champions involved. And but I kind of think about the formats, you know. The 9-ball, if you get through the 9-ball, it's anybody's game. I mean, if you start with the 9-ball, because you're only playing 3 games of 8-ball, and any of these ladies can beat each other 3 in a row if needed.
Well, it's interesting because Nathalie did opt to take the 9-ball format and gave up the break, which, you know, you don't see that often, but sometimes.
Well,
so she definitely feels stronger about her 9-ball game.
Well, also, you know, there's a lot more to play into it now that the tournament's gone on for a day and a half because these ladies have results of their own. Oh, how have I done playing 9-ball so far in the tournament compared to my 8-ball? So there's a lot more to it than right when the tournament started. They're kind of guessing a little bit on some things.
I'm sure they scout each other a little bit too when they get a chance.
Absolutely. Information is all what it's about.
If it were me, I'd be going back and watching some of these live stream matches and seeing what my opponent did at night.
Well, you'd probably hire somebody to do that, Jason. But we understand the point.
I'd need a team of people if I was going to compete here. A couple of coaches, couple of analysts, maybe a guest shooter.
All right. Tag
team,
somebody in, yeah.
Nathalie Jacob. I tell you what, Jeremy, we've seen a lot of players the last couple of days. I don't know if we've seen anybody that's at least initially come out looking as strong as Nathalie, so we'll see. I mean,
well, like I said,
I've been impressed so far.
I've been here since Sunday, and a lot of the ladies are either local or arrived early, and you know, a few of them stood out. And I'll be honest with you, but you know, these two probably stood out the most.
Yeah.
And like you said, Nathalie probably stood out the most to me when and it's just practice, so you never know. But a lot of ladies really hit the ball well, but I just watched this lady a lot. That's why I did ask her, where are you from? Because I did hear a foreign language from a few tables away. And it makes sense to me now because she's told me Canada like I should have known that, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, if I would have heard French, I probably would have guessed Canada or real deep South Louisiana, one of the two. But, yeah, I didn't see many things she did wrong. Of course, we all missed balls, but, I mean, her decisions were great. Stroke was really great. Aggressive. Now, it looks like to me she can shoot the 2 into the rail using the back of the 3 to maybe kiss the 2 ball in. I don't think the 9's got her out of position too badly. Now, the thing about this is she can't roll it too soft. She needs to put a little speed on it. Okay, nice shot.
We'll have to do some research. I don't know if we've ever had a player come from Canada and place as high as Nathalie already has in the women's division. We'll have to see. Well, I don't believe we've ever had a Canadian champion.
Well, I think you've
a couple years ago, I know we had a guy that was down that finished, I think, runner-up maybe last year, but in the women's division, I don't.
You got one threatening here.
Yeah.
Pool in Canada is a big sport, believe it or not. A lot of players. Okay, she overhit that a touch, so she's going to get a little thin on the 4, but still a nice strike. And I'm going to have to remember her name. I'll ask a few people I know from up north. And
you're going to play some Jack and Jill with her, get her as your teammate.
Well, yeah, I don't know about that, but I don't play much of that. But if I did, yeah. But I'm curious, most of the guys are people I know from Canada. They're more Toronto area than Montreal. But I do know Luke Salvis, a former great player, still I'm sure plays great. Actually won the Speed Pool Challenge tournament a few times on ESPN as well. owns a couple of rooms in Montreal. Okay, she's going to bump the 5 here, I believe. She overcut it. Yeah. I don't know if she gave up a shot on the 4. I think that most likely Tina can get at the 4. Oh, it's close. And now if Tina can only get at the top side of the 4, she's in trouble.
If you're just joining us, you're seeing live coverage of this year's Women's U.S. Amateur Championship being held at Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida, part of the greater Tampa Bay area here. Tina Larsen, 2-time champion. 2000, what years did Tina win? 2003, 2007.
Yeah.
It's been a few years.
Yeah, and
I know she's got a number of other top finishes here. So.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, and going to have another this year, if not win the title. But she may have to play a kick shot here just because there's nothing else, really. And I'm just not sure what else she had. I mean, Nathalie kind of looking at the 4 past the 5, and I think it may go, but it's a very slim pocket, slim margin for error there. So if she could reach it, I think she'd like to shoot the 4 back up in between the 8 and the 6 and try to drift the cue ball behind the 5. So she's going to go to her extension, which she's a tall lady. So maybe not needing the bridge here. Be interested to see if she shoots at this half a pocket. And like most really good players, if not great players, try to stay aggressive. Okay, she's going to do what I talked about, banking the 4 up and just slowly putting the cue ball behind the 5 if possible. Tina, we had mentioned from Indiana. And I think you had some other players from Canada as well, not just Nathalie. Okay, she fouled, so she had caught a piece of the 5 going over, I believe. Maybe a piece of the 6.
Yeah, 33 states represented in the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. 2 Canadian provinces, so I'm guessing probably somewhere in Toronto.
Yeah, well, Newfoundland was here as also,
okay.
but I don't know if that's actually a Canadian province, is it? It's its own country, I believe.
I don't want to do Canadian geography.
Well, that's way over to the northeast.
I know it's cold up there. I can do Canadian weather. It's cold, snow, cold and snow.
I think it actually gets a bit more bitter than St. Louis, actually. So.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like she's just going to settle for a little bit of a longer shot on the 5. Nothing wrong with that at all. The 6 goes by the 8 in the side. I think it goes by the 7 in the corner. We'll try and get the overhead. Give us the angle on where the 5's going. Okay, she's going away a little bit here, so she may go one rail kind of right at the 8, trying to shoot the 6 in the same corner, and that's why she's taking a little more time, because she sees this angle is taking her into a little trouble, meaning a little bit towards the 8, so she's got to really be mindful of that. Okay, she wanted to stay away from trouble, so did you notice how she checked the cue ball up with some right English? So pretty impressive to me, this lady. And I think simple is her best friend here. Just roll the 6 in and take a little thinner cut on the 7. I think if you try to move the cue ball a lot from this angle or not much angle, you could get in trouble. Yeah. And see, she wanted to get to that bottom rail, right? Well, what happens is when you try to cheat the shot as much as possible to help the cue ball, and then a lot of times you'll miss a ball you're not supposed to. Okay, prime opportunity for Tina to get settled in this hot seat match. Okay, nice shot. A simple angle to the bottom rail that should naturally go back up towards the 8. And from here, I might play for the angle on the 8 to go move the cue ball up table and back, because when you try to get on the good side of the 8, you can overhit it a little bit, you know, like this. Another inch or two, that gets real funny. Now she's okay. I think she can cut this in and go around the 9 maybe. But what happens is when you try to get on the natural side of the 8 to make yourself go naturally towards the 9, that's the correct thing. But sometimes you got to recognize that it could put me in a funny spot. Whereas if you just play shorter, you shoot the 8 in the side and you just run the cue ball up and down. It's almost like a more guaranteed way to get the position on the 9 you want. Okay, watch out for the bump on the 9 from the back. Oh, she overcut the 8 trying to direct the cue ball. It's almost very similar to what Nathalie did on that 6 ball, really trying to, you know, direct the cue ball on a certain route and kind of take your eye off the object ball. Happens to all of us. Nothing to it, Jason.
Nicely done there by Nathalie. Looks to have a decent shot on the 9 ball here, although we've seen some issues with this pocket on the cut shots in that lower corner. But
yeah, but everything.
I haven't seen many big problems from Nathalie. So
no, and everything she does, you know, screams to me player. You know, she went from the top of it, looked at it, then she went to go look behind the 9, get the right perspective on both, and then you go back to the shot. You know, it's things that, oh, an overcut. So
that pocket.
Yeah.
That pocket is
We're
cursed.
Going to turn our head
Cursed.
when the 9's getting shot to that pocket from now on.
But look at where she leaves her.
Well, I think Tina will handle it. She's just got to take care of the cue ball. The 9, it's thin, but
bit,
yeah, but very makeable. So again, just address the cue ball. Make sure you don't lose the white ball somewhere.
Pulls up there. She just wants to take another look at it.
Okay, it looks like she's addressing it with some inside English to try and kill the cue ball up the table, I think. Oh, okay. She put a lot of inside English on it and almost came back towards where she was at.
Corner pocket there is not a problem for Tina Larsen. She's on the board. Trails by just 1 game in this race to 5. She will have the break.
And
this will be our 4th game of 9 ball.
Looked like a very important game, too, if you're thinking about Tina's corner.
Yeah. It's a big swing right there.
Yeah,
It was all Nathalie up until that missed 9 in the corner. Quick update on our other match. Jennifer Brzezinski and Stacy Barbeau are tied at 1 game apiece. Again, you can find that match on our YouTube channel or here right in front of our faces at the moment, at least. Not sure why the lag that we see on our feed, but if you go to our YouTube channel, I can assure you it looks fantastic. So if you're interested in keeping up with that match, maybe open both of your browser windows and watch simultaneously.
Okay, Tina, who breaks the balls very well. She broke them great. I believe she played Amy Peterson today earlier.
Yeah.
She won the Final Four on the winner's side. She broke the balls really well. Oh, lost the cue ball.
Oh.
Okay, it stood up.
Yeah.
It's going to give up an easy starter on the 1. And the 2 kind of over the side pocket, so Nathalie's going to have a good chance to get the run started. I'm not so sure what the 5-7 looks like. It could be a playable combination later on, or maybe even an early 4-9 winner. You know, since the 5 and the 7 are kind of jumbled up, maybe not sitting so well.
Yeah.
Well, she's elevating, so that tells me she's a little straighter. She wants to get a little closer to the 2 ball. Doesn't want to flirt with the 5-7 here.
Oh.
Okay, so last 2 shots, we saw a little chink in the armor.
Yeah.
Nice shot.
Tina's starting to come alive a little bit.
Yeah, and she bumped that 4 just ever so better for the 9. Kind of makes me think, especially with the 5-7, the way it's laying, that if she can get this 2 down and get some type of shape on the 3, wow, really a thin cut in the side there. And this ball landed very awkward to try and get an easy safety. I don't think it's really playable cross side. I think the 7's in the way. She's going to try and edge this ball, come 2 rails behind the 9, but that angle's difficult. Well, she's just trying to put it behind the 7 and the 5, and that's a smart decision there. I don't know, you know. I know it's a passive way of thinking here, but if the 5-7 isn't playable, you know, I maybe move the 9 here. I know it sounds crazy, but tournament pool, you can't afford to give up games, especially early wins. She could kick and make this or get safe, but I like moving the 9 over on top of the 6 here, I think. Okay, this 3 is going to travel into a nice, difficult position. So that worked out. Okay. Another tough angle, so be careful if you're going behind the 9 with the cue ball. Oh, she did it with the 3, so that's another smart decision. Okay, doesn't she wants a 2-rail kick underneath this? Yeah, like that. Okay, so here's that shot on the 3 to where she can swing the cue ball 1, 2, maybe 3 rails and get back somewhere where it's at now for a 4-9 combo. Tina, from what I've seen, definitely has this in her arsenal, this shot here. Real natural, just a little high left English. She decided to play the safety, and she did real well doing so. Yeah.
We mentioned the winner of this match is going to move on to the final.
Yeah.
Both these ladies undefeated, so the loser of the match will play the winner of Jennifer Brzezinski and Stacy Bourbeau, who are, looks like Jennifer Brzezinski's taking a 2-1 lead in that match, which is going on a couple tables over.
Well, this is the match you want to make it to, because at the beginning of this hot seat match, you know all I got to do is win 1 out of the next 2 to be in the final. If I do it here, I'm in the final. If I lose this match and I go to my next one and win, I'm back in the final. So
I tell you what, though, I can't tell you how many times I've seen the loser of the hot seat match come back and win that extended race in the final. I mean, it seems like every year, and at least in one of the 2 divisions, that seems to happen. So we'll see how it plays out, but
I'll tell you, I wouldn't even be worried about the 5-7 here. I really like the looks of the 4-9 with ball in hand on the 3. You know, if the 5-7 was dead, you know, if there's no complications with it at all, that's a different story. But if it's any kind of missable, I go ahead and just play for the 4-9. You know, combinations, they tell you in pool, you stay away from them, you know. But don't go out of your way to stay away from one that's sitting nice and kind of makes sense with the 5-7 tied up.
Glad nobody told Shane Van Boning that in the Moscone Cup final day. Fifth match.
That was a great one. I'll
Erased
remember that
almost a
forever.
decade-long drought, yeah. All right.
So she's got to cut the 4 a bit, not quite as straight in as she may have wanted, but still one I like her chances. Just a nice high English shot. Oh. And she played it with a nice speed also, to where you didn't figure it was going to hang up there. I'm not saying it gave up a shot here, but it almost gave up a return combination.
Definitely feel like the momentum has swung a little bit. I mean, it's early on was kind of all Nathalie, and Tina's come on. Obviously would have liked to have that 4-9 combo, but still a lot of balls on the table here.
And I'm trying to figure out what is the best shot from here. You know, you can't necessarily just bank the 4 down table and hope to get her behind the 8. If you leave some type of bank on the 9, long rail bank on the 9, the player's probably going to shoot it and make it. Now, the one thing she can do, she can cut the 4 in, knowing the 9 makes that corner pocket a big pocket, meaning she's got a lot of room for error to make it. The problem is, what do you do on the 5?
Mm-hmm.
So these ladies, real smart players, know they're taking extra time for a good reason. That's for sure. She's got to be careful if she's putting this 4 behind over on the side rail. Also, it's a touchy shot. She was trying to get her behind the 6, and she did so. Probably not exactly how she thought it was going to happen, meaning the 4 catching the point and coming across table, but. Okay, again, I don't like the early winner. I got to move the 9 here, I think. I don't think the 5-7 is very playable. And don't get me wrong, I think Tina will hit this ball. Both ladies have showed real good knowledge on kicking at balls, but.
Oh.
Okay, if she tears up the 5 at all, no.
Ball in hand
And
to Nathalie.
Yeah, the early winner won't happen here, but there's several ways that she can get the 5 kiss shot off the 5. So here you roll the 4 in. You get about a diamond off the end rail and the center, and then you just come across the 5 and let the cue ball run down there and make the 9. Very easy shot. I'm not sure if she's going to recognize that shot or not. It looks like she's going to try and play a kiss shot off the 4 onto the 9 with the cue ball. Okay. It's a difficult place to set it up. You really have to shave it from there. Anytime you put it behind the ball a little bit like the cue ball is, you actually want to put it out and put it a little more level with the cue ball. Just because this requires an absolute perfect hit, where if you put it out a little bit, you have a little bit of room for error, but otherwise I'm not sure what else she has. So she's going to try and edge the 4 ball, carry the cue ball all the way down by the 8 and make the 9. She'll do it with a slower speed. She shouldn't hit this very hard because, if she doesn't make it, she wants to leave a difficult shot on the 4. Yeah, and that's what happens. I was going to say that whenever you set the cue ball behind it, catch it any kind of thick, it's going to miss by quite some margin.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a very precise type of shot.
Tina Larsen back at the table here.
And she's got some choices as well. It looks like she's trying to attack on the 4 and maybe go across and bump the 5-7 open. She's elevating just a little bit.
Oh.
And that's kind of the place I was talking about, you know, somewhere just a little right of there is where that kiss shot off the 5 onto the 9 becomes a very easy shot. Nathalie didn't see it with the ball in hand on the last one when she had ball in hand on the 4, but
Now tied 2-2. Brzezinski and Barbeau. Again, they are 2-2 in a race to 5. Barbeau with the next break in that match. We're still in the 9-ball set.
I think she's going to get the snooker. I think maybe a little too hard. I don't know. No, perfect speed, isn't it? Right behind the 8. Now Tina's got a rail first or a jump shot. Looks like she's got the jump cue in her hand already, so not wasting much time.
Well, maybe not.
Well, she went to add the extra extension to the jump cue. And players will do that when they're the longer ones or you need a little bit more power. You don't have to get the cue ball up so quickly. Uh-oh, watch out 9-ball. Watch out 9-ball. Oh, that's going to hurt.
Yeah. Well, now the 4-9 combo.
Well, yeah, I'd like to bet on it. And pretty cold roll for Tina, even though Nathalie played a nice safety and got rewarded.
Forced it, yeah. 4-9 combination goes. Nathalie up 3-1 in this race to 5.
So I think maybe for Tina, if I was in her corner, I'd, you know, when she gets her opportunity at the table, maybe take a timeout, shake that off, little bathroom break. I think there definitely is a time, a few different times and places for those bathroom breaks to be used.
Yeah. How does that work with you guys on the pro side? You just time out whenever to take a bathroom break? Are you guys limited? Depends on the tournament rules, or?
Yeah, the tournament formats. Most of them you get one 5-minute timeout. You know, some of the extended matches you get 2. Normally it's in between racks, not during a rack,
right.
And it's when you're inning at the table. But pretty, you know, a lot of the tournaments, you know, especially overseas, they're very strict on a lot of the rules with the timeouts.
I'm sure.
I mean, you're on a clock.
Yeah.
You better take care of your business quick.
Again, we're in the hot seat match here. One of these ladies is going to move on and sit comfortably as they await their opponent in the final. The other will take on the winner of the match ongoing between Jennifer Brzezinski and Stacy Bourbeau. That match still tied at 2.
Okay, so I'm not sure if she's just going to go ahead and make it and play safe on the 3 or try to draw it all the way back. Okay, and that's pretty smart, you know. I mean, the chances of her drawing it all the way back were probably, you know, I wouldn't say slim, but a tough shot, and then makes it very missable, the 2-ball. So I think very smart here. Okay, Tina, who definitely has enough stroke to get around table for the 4-ball on the other end.
Tina's out of Westville, Indiana. Been playing pool for 32 years.
Yeah.
Started playing at the age of 16.
Okay. Well, we're very similar then. I started at 17, 31 years ago. The week I turned 17, actually. All right, she's going to run into the 7, coming back and forth. Okay. And those types of shots are about the same thing as I talked about earlier. Really to guide the cue ball inside both side pockets. You know, she leaned towards hitting the 5 as thin as she could to the pocket to help the cue ball. And it's a very common mistake, but like I said, all speeds of players, from the best in the world to beginners.
Mike, I don't know offhand their skill levels. I mean, I'm going to say they're 7 and 9 in APA if they have skill levels in APA, but just from what I've seen here, they both appear to be about as strong as amateur ranking as you can get. Of course, U.S. Amateur Championship format's a non-handicapped event. One of the few APA produced events that is non-handicapped. This in addition to our Masters format. So if you're liking the U.S. Amateur Championship format, but you really want to play with a team, the Masters format's the way to go. That's a combination of 8-ball and 9-ball, non-handicapped.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of it back home in the DFW
Really popular,
area.
yeah. Jump cues allowed in that format.
Well, there's
no coaching.
There's quite a few really good players in DFW. You know, quite a few. You know, I don't know what the rating would be exactly, but quite a few men and women that can play the game. So they really enjoy the combination of both the 9 and the 8.
Yep.
And they enjoy competing against really good players all the time. So, all right, so just kind of straight down the table, real natural off the 7, just a high ball. A little more now. She could have used a little more there. So she's going to get pretty thin on this 8.
David, that is correct. This is an open event, meaning you do not have to be an APA member to play because it's unhandicapped or non-handicapped. So we do have players here that are non-APA members. This competition being played on 9-foot tables for those that are asking.
Natalie, I think she may be entertaining the safety, meaning knocking the 8 away and just kind of pinning Tina up against the 9 with the cue ball. Otherwise, if she goes for the attack here, she's got to either float it or hit it with some speed to get around. So up to her. Yeah, kind of like that. And that's, again, you know, that's tournament style sometimes, especially at this level, to where you don't want to give any games away. You know, you don't want to leave the 8 hanging, the 9 hanging, so you want them earning it. Because we're a race to 5, one game's 20%.
Yep.
You know, so probably a 3-rail kick here. There's all kinds of ways you can kick. Oh, she's going to go to the back of it here. Okay, so she's going to go 1 rail right at it, probably with a lot of speed.
That'll be ball in hand to Nathalie. Great position here for her to go up 4-1.
Yeah, and you'll notice here, you know, this one I might draw down the side rail, but even if she's shooting it with top English, and I commented earlier, when you have ball in hand, top English is the way to go. I mean, again, you can't ever miscue, really. It's a very calm way to shoot the ball. And again, you're looking at your position and your peripheral vision. All right, she's going to follow down to this corner, which is fine. Same principle.
Pockets the 8 in the corner. Sets up on the 9 in the opposite corner. No problem pocketing that 9 ball and taking a 4-1, commanding 4-1 lead now on the hill. Needs just one game, and she could win it here in the 9 ball set. We got one more game of 9 ball, and of course we noted at the outset Nathalie won that lag and opted to start in the 9 ball set, so it's like a wise choice.
Yeah.
I don't know how well she does in 8 ball, but we may not find out, at least
may not
in this match.
And this, of course, a huge game for Tina to survive.
Absolutely.
But also, like I said earlier, I think any of these ladies can beat each other 3 games in 8 ball very easily. But I'm guessing that Nathalie, probably being from Canada, probably plays 8 ball pretty well.
Yeah.
So it's a game where if you go to any of the national amateur competitions, you know, the Canadian teams are always pretty strong. Okay, she's made one on the break. She's going to get a shot at the 1.
And 2 on the break.
Yeah, 2 on the break. And a very open table, very nice starter on the 1, and a lot of choices getting to the 3. So I wouldn't be surprised, just as she opened this match with a total clearance of the table from the 1 to the 9, I wouldn't doubt that she ends the match in the same fashion.
Pockets the 1 in the corner.
Okay, she got a little thin on the 3 in the side, but I don't think it's one that'll keep her from shooting at it. She's just going to try and figure out the route of the cue ball and what's going to get her to the 4. She overcut it. Not sure she left Tina anything offensive. Maybe an edge on the 3, and that's all that's needed to make it. From her body language, I think she's got a shot. Not so sure the 4 passes the 6. She may have to run the cue ball all the way back down for position on the 4 on the side, maybe. Okay, she came back to the right with it, so she's going to get her a shot in the lower left corner. Oh, watch out, 9 ball. And 6 ball got in her way a bit. I think she can get to the top of the 5, but I'm not so sure she can do much with it, Jason. She may have to draw this to avoid the scratch. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of right there.
All right, so that'll be ball in hand for Nathalie.
Yeah, and she's done pretty well with it in this match, and I'm sure throughout the tournament. She should set up nice and full on the 5 and follow down for a little bit short side on the 6, but shouldn't be a problem. And she wants to give a little angle to make sure she gets off the rail with the cue ball.
So,
yeah, there you go.
Not to take us off topic, but somebody had commented about their league operator doesn't allow women to be 7s or 9s in their league. That's not accurate. That's not possible.
Yeah.
League operator cannot hold a player's skill level back based on our system. So I'm not sure where that information comes from, but I'm telling you that is incorrect. We don't allow a league operator to keep people from playing at skill levels that they've attained. We wouldn't ever allow that. So I just want to clarify real quick based on some of the comments here. All right. Well, Nathalie leaving the window of opportunity there for Tina.
Yeah, and I believe a missed ball again, trying to promote the cue ball movement. Very easy to do. This is a funny little position right here. If she comes across and plays the 8 up in the upper right, she's going to fall a little ways away from it. If she draws it, more difficult shot to get past the side, and she could scratch where the 8's at. So, not easy by any means. Oh, she jawed it. And that was all about the cue ball, trying to get the cue ball back for position on the 8, and very understandable that that happens. Okay, kind of try and cheat the pocket a little bit. That's not going to get where she wanted. And a real funny position to play safe. Maybe she can spin this in. That camera angle tells me this is makeable. The initial one from the overhead said that she fell really short with the cue ball, but I think this one she can spin in. Or maybe even just naturally cut it in. Now she's got to have a nice speed on the cue ball because it's going to be a thin hit, so cue ball should be racing a little bit. That's got to go, I think.
She got the 8.
Okay, another thin cut on the 9. One that she'll definitely try to cut in if she goes offensive. I don't think she'll play the bank. She may.
Well, we've seen what happened with the cuts. The 9 ball in the middle of the table like this.
Well, she's in a great position. I mean, she's up 4-1. Don't get me wrong. You don't want to give away any games. And we are changing to 8 ball in the next session here. If we go any further, I think she's got to cut at this in the lower left. Just, without knowing Nathalie. I mean, if I was in her corner, I'd say, hey, just do your thing. Get down, trust what you're looking at, and knock it in. Needs the extension. Now, one thing she did earlier when she used the extension was stretching. She kind of quick stroked it, meaning she didn't take near as many practice strokes as she does normally. And maybe that stretched position can get a little uncomfortable. Well, she overcut it. Now she may get safe, or not safe, but leaving a difficult one for Tina.
Tina Larsen shooting on the 9 ball here. Not quite, but
left it
same
tough again.
Situation, yep. What to do?
Yeah, I think I have to try and edge this ball on what would be her right side of the 9. Don't think she's going to try to go rail first and make it. I don't think. The bank is very difficult. The 9's close to the rail, and the angle's very flat with the cue ball. Yeah, okay, so, well, she's looking to maybe bank this. Or she putting it up on the side rail. That's what she's doing. Yeah, she's putting it up on the side rail and asking Tina, do you want to bank at it, or do you want me to bank at it? And she did pretty good, actually. I mean, a lot of times that you stay away from that shot because you end up leaving a very makeable bank. But this one here is a little off angle, meaning not so easy. She hit it too hard. No, it slowed down. And that was pretty intentional. You know, it looked like she missed the bank by some margin, but I don't think she was really going for it. I think the safety was always in mind.
Looked like that 9-ball went a little further. It looked like she was saying stop towards the end there.
Is she cutting it or is she kicking behind it for a safety? The way she's down on it makes me think she's cutting at it. Just a little thick. So Tina's going to get back on the board here at 4-2, and we're going to go to 8-ball. So maybe a big turn of events here in game number 6.
Yep. Tina pockets that 9 in the corner. Pulls within 2 of Nathalie. They're going to grab a few extra balls for the 8-ball set. While they do that, we're going to take a quick break, hear a word from our friends at PoolDog.com.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PullDog.com. You want pool cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PullDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
Four to 2 over Tina Larsen. Big game there for Tina, though, getting to the 8-ball part of our match here in the hot seat. If you're just joining us, I'm Jeremy Jones with Jason Bowman, and Bulldog presents the Women's U.S. Amateur here, coming to you live from Strokers in Palm Harbor, Florida.
You just knew this one wasn't going down 5-1.
No.
We just haven't seen that kind of lopsided match, and certainly not with a 2-time champion playing. So we'll see if Tina can continue the comeback here now that we've moved into the 8-ball set.
Dry break there. So Nathalie will have her option on solids or stripes. Not much of a solid to shoot at, though, besides a long-distance 7-ball way up in the upper left-hand corner. So good chance it's going to be stripes. Maybe she can make the 2 in the side also, one nearest the cue ball.
Again, both of these ladies have yet to suffer a loss in this year's Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. Tina recording victories over Pauline Ostro, Rosemary, I'm not going to pronounce the last name, Juanita Haas, Jennifer Brzezinski, Amy Peterson, of course, we've talked a lot about Nathalie Jacob. This is her first U.S. Amateur Championship appearance. Also undefeated. And has really not played a closer match than like 5-3. That's as close as anybody's come to handing her a loss. Looking at some of Tina's scores. 5-1, 5-3, 5-3, 5-2. Of course, she beat Amy Peterson earlier today in a hill race, so a little bit closer than some of the matches that Nathalie's played. Would not surprise me one bit if we see both of these ladies back in the finals.
Yeah. Okay, so didn't really want to attack at all and didn't like the position of the stripes. She could have easily made the 11 in the side, but okay, and both ladies are going to decide to not try and run out. I tell you, I don't know. This 9, what is that, the 9-12 combination, if that's playable, I may be able to try and run out from this position. I know the 14's tied up on the 5, but I kind of feel like you can get at that ball breaking it out, either off the 11 with the cue ball or maybe off this combination with the 9-12.
Over on table 6, Jennifer Brzezinski and Stacy Barbeau now tied at 3 games apiece in a race to 5.
Yeah,
so they are neck and neck over there.
This is what I was wondering. Can she shoot the 9-12 and follow and break out the 14 like that?
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking. That now this is a very runnable table. If I was Nathalie, I'd like to try and get the 9 out of there. But you got the 13 to help that as well. So I don't think I go down table just yet with the cue ball. I think I want to shoot the 11. Probably try. Oh, she's going to roll the 9 in? Okay, so the reason that she's doing that is she's trying to keep the 11 for some protection, meaning just in case she doesn't get all the way out, you know, she has a chance to keep Tina from getting all the way out as well. Okay, she's going to shoot the 3 into the 11, trying to use the 3 to cover up that pocket there. And the one thing about it is it's a pretty good shot, but I wonder if the 9 passes the 7 all the way down. And kind of like the same kind of thing here as she can roll the 9 trying to cover up the pocket for the 7 just in case she doesn't make it. She's looking at the 13. And if she makes the 9, she might run all the way out. So, like her attacking right here, but at a mild speed, somewhat mild. Oh, she played the other corner. That tells me there wasn't much chance of the 9 going by the 7. But now Tina in a really nice position to run out. All the solids are available. Now she wants to try and get on the 4 on the side right here, or use the 5 to get on the 4 on the side is probably best. So she'll just roll this in, play for the 4 in the opposite side pocket, maybe the 2 prior to it. Just kind of depends on how she falls. But once she plays the 4 on the side, that's really going to open up everything as far as the 6 and the 1 are concerned. Or maybe the 1 goes by the 13 in the side. That's fine too. I think the 4 would have been a little better because that opens up the 1 to the left, lower left-hand corner. And it looks like that's what she's shooting at. Okay, she got a little elevated here. And the 1 certainly doesn't pass the 14 in the corner. The 6 is tight, so being a little elevated, and she really needs to move the cue ball all the way over for the 2. That makes this a little bit of a missable ball, in my opinion. Don't think she'll miss it, but oh, nice shot. So I think Tina is a confident player, confident 9-ball player, confident player in general, but I see a little bit more confidence in the 8-ball side of it than I do the 9-ball. Did the 9-ball, excuse me. Should just follow to the rail. She could hit it really light and just hold, and that's what she's done. That's where the angles, they know them better and they see them better on the table than we see them over here in the booth.
Nice job there by Tina. Picks up the first game of the 8-ball set. Now trails by just 1 to Nathalie Jacob. If you thought this was going to be a runaway match, you haven't been paying attention today because we've not seen one of those. We're 2 for 2 in Hill matches here on the live stream. We'll see if we go 3 for 3. Tina Larsen can win this next game. She'll have the break.
I know it's pretty close on our other match going on, the loser side.
Yep, 3-3 still. Jennifer Brzezinski and Stacy Bourbeau. Looks like Jennifer currently at the table. Again, you can catch that over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/APA Leagues. Nathalie working on the rack there. Tina chalking up. She'll position that cue ball and we'll be off in our second game of 8-ball.
Primarily using the second ball break from what I've seen for Tina from the side rail. So trying to catch that stripe just behind the 1.
Watch that 8-ball.
Ooh. Oh.
Close.
Yeah, I think it was.
That was on its way.
Yeah, what a spread. Look at the spread she got here. Everything a foot or foot and a half apart from each other for the most part.
That was so close.
She's got a nice starter on the stripes, nice starter on the solids. Really both very runnable. Probably going to take the stripes just because of the 4 ball, the way it sits. But she could shoot the 1 right now and get under and float over for the 2 and then the 4 on the side. And the solids are pretty easy as well, or very doable. I shouldn't say easy. It may be easier, actually, the solids a little bit, but especially if she's dead straight on this 11. If she's dead straight on this 11, she might have to wait on that.
She pocketed a stripe on the break.
Oh, that's right. Excuse
That's
me.
what knocked that 8 ball out of that side.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
on its way.
yeah. Well, yeah, I got myself confused
There we
with our rules here.
Yeah.
Our rules are take what you make. Excuse me. So she's going to play a jam up safety here, trying to get her on the back of the 15, I'm guessing. Okay. Did she leave her the 1, though? Didn't want to leave the 1 ball.
Tough to tell right there.
I think she did just from her body language, and that's just going to look a little bit more of making sure what you're doing. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't easy to keep her off the 1, off the 2, and off the 4 ball. So, again, the ball's open. So a big shot here for Nathalie. Knocks the 1 in, gets on the 2, and then takes care of that 4 ball problem in the side. Okay, ran a little further than she wanted, so going to be a touchy shot on the 2. Not so much making the 2, but she needs to get on the 4 now after the 2 ball. Otherwise, it could be problems later.
Stacy Bourbeau now leading 4-3 over Jennifer Brzezinski in the race to 5. That is an elimination match. The winner will go on and face the loser of this match, while the other will finish
4th, I guess.
in 4th place. At the table, Nathalie Jacob.
And she's had, one real good opportunity to win. Didn't work out. The other game, she had a shot, but it wasn't a great one. So she wants to get it done right here, Jason. And if the 1 passes the 9, I like her chances. I like her chances a lot. She'll just roll forward on the 4. And she may shoot. If she gets straight in on the 3 in the corner, she'll shoot that. And then the 2 balls in the sides. She's got to get at the 1, though, also. Oh, she had to go all the way to the rail. So now some angle on the 6. So she doesn't want to just let the cue ball wander. She'll probably have to draw this ball a bit. Well, now she is looking at rolling it and going right past it. And that's the 5 ball, not the 1, excuse me. She is going to roll the 6 and go past the 5 to play the 5 in the opposite side, it looks like. Not a bad plan.
The winner of this event will move on to compete in a pro event next year. Typically the ladies, that means a WPBA event. That would be their entry, airfare, hotel. Bring them back to Tampa next year to defend their title. And, of course, their name forever etched on the Trophy of Champions.
Yeah, so with the 8 there, she's going to have to, she can't really move the cue ball to the rail and back out for one of these balls in the side, I don't believe. I think she's going to have to take a little bit of a shot on probably the 7 or the 3 in the corner, and then, whichever's left, she'll play in the side pocket most likely and come back for the 8. So she's going to have, she just needed 1 more inch on the cue ball going downward, and everything becomes pretty routine and easy. Yeah, I think she's just got to ease this in, or even kind of stop her ball or shove her ball over a little bit and just take one medium distance shot on the 7 in the corner, and really the tournament match is over. Okay, she got perfect, I think. Just stop your ball on the 3. It goes by the 12 on the side. Yeah, so this is probably draw the cue ball back. I mean, you could even stop it, but maybe draw it back an inch, half inch. Probably want to come back a little. Yeah, like that. Oh, she got it down. So the thing about this shot is you don't have an entire pocket. So even if you need to focus on that half a pocket here. Don't worry about drawing the cue ball back too much. You can handle the little cut on the 8. Just don't take your eye off the prize. That means burying this 3 ball. And that's what she did.
Yeah.
Try to get a little more out of the cue ball to make the 8 a little easier. And
yeah, she would have had great position on the 8. Got to pocket the ball first. Once again, Tina with a little window of opportunity. We'll see if she can make the most of it.
now this is where she's in total control, meaning she doesn't have to take any chances, really. She can play a safety. She can make 1 ball, play a safety, make 2 balls, play a safety of some sort. She probably, wants to run out, of course, but so here comes the safety most likely, and she may shoot the long distance 13 ball. Yeah, we'll get the overhead. She had the 13 if she wanted, but I think this is still the smart play.
Better safe than sorry.
That's right.
Pun intended.
Yeah, kind of, in the nicest way, you kind of torture your opponent a little bit for them making that big mistake. Okay, so a 2-rail kick shot. The problem is she's just got to kick it with probably a light speed. I mean, she could go at it with pretty hard if she wanted, but then you lose a lot of accuracy. So you're probably going to kick it at light speed, which doesn't offer many chances to fluke it in somewhere. So
Ball in hand to Tina. Looks like we're final on the other table. Stacy Bourbeau, the 5-3 win, the former champion, will take on the loser of this particular match. Stacy with an opportunity to find her way back in the finals if she can pick up one more big victory.
yeah,
She's had quite a run since a loss yesterday.
well,
Jennifer Brzezinski will finish 4th place.
Stacy looked very natural player, very natural swing for
Big comeback in that last match.
Yeah. So it looks like she's going to shoot the 13, then the 12 most likely. She could shoot the 10 next and then 12 last. Kind of depends, but probably 13. Oh, okay. So that's going to ruin all plans quickly because now she doesn't have a shot at the ball in the top rail, and she's got to draw the heck out of the cue ball to get back for off the 10 for a shot on that top rail. Which I've seen her. She can draw her ball, no problem.
Look at that.
Yeah, great shot.
There's some applause here in the room.
She's got a little straight, though,
Yeah.
so she's going to have to power the cue ball one way or another to get up above, whether it's a center punch straight up or drawing it. Oh, nice stroke there.
Nice leave on that 8-ball. There we go, Jeremy. 3 for 3 on Hill matches.
Yeah, that's right.
Tina Larsen, Nathalie Jacob now tied 4 games apiece. The next rack will determine the winner here, who moves on to the finals. As we mentioned a moment ago, the loser will face Stacy Bourbeau in a semifinal match. Viewers are getting their money's worth.
Yeah, so we're pretty much down to 3 players already without this match even done yet. And she's won 2 in a row of the 8-ball and talked about, I think, 3 in a row. Very, very doable situation for any of these ladies in the 8-ball.
Yep, Tina will have the break. Oh, what a comeback. Nathalie was up 4-1, right?
Yeah.
Once again, we've seen a big comeback here. And Tina took a quick break. While she does that, we're going to hear a quick word from our friends at PoolDog.com.
Tired of the same old when you're buying billiard supplies? Come shop with the big dogs at PullDog.com. You want pool cues? We've got over 700. Balls, cases, accessories, no problem. Want help with your game? How does hundreds of free training articles sound? Want to shop offline? We'll mail you a free catalog. Hit us up online, PullDog.com, or call 866-843-3294.
Four.
1 rack for a shot in the finals. Tina Larsen with the break.
She's going to stick to that second ball break and hit it really well at the beginning of
She almost nailed the 8 on the break in the last rack. Let's see.
That'd be a way to go.
That it would. It's moving. Oh, once again.
Had a lot of movement.
She saw it too. That's the second time that 8-ball was moving at that pocket, but redirected at the last moment. So otherwise, a dry break, an opportunity for Nathalie here.
Yeah, and difficult run out. I mean, they're fairly open, but there's just a couple little situations. That 3-ball near the 10, I think it is, near the spot. Kind of difficult. Now, if the 8 went, I gotta lean towards stripes. If the 8 goes by that 1 ball in that upper corner, I really like stripes. If it doesn't go, of course, you don't want to run a bunch of stripes and then not be able to make the 8. That's not a good proposition, but. Now, one thing is the 3 does go on the opposite side if she was to remove the 6. So say she opened with the 6 right now, and then maybe shot the 2 and the 4 off, and then the 5. She could play the 3 in the side, that being the right side pocket. Otherwise, the solids are a little more difficult, I think, than the stripes.
The other interesting thing, Jeremy, so Stacy Bourbeau has already won, so she's got a few minutes to decompress, relax. Obviously, we'll give the loser of this match a couple of minutes, but they're going to have to get right back into play. So you wonder how that's going to affect things.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Stamina becomes a thing this late in the day. I mean, these ladies have been playing since 10 o'clock this morning, round after round after round.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you know, I haven't heard any complaints from the ladies as far as, oh, man, I'm really worn out, my feet hurt, any of that. So
right.
Kind of feel like as far as the physical side, but mentally, yeah, especially if it's some, dramatic finish here, which it's going to be with Hill.
Yeah. How do you handle that when, like, I'm sure you've won some hot seat matches in your career. Like, you got to sit back and wait. I mean, how do you kind of deal with that? Make sure do you hit balls, try to hit balls in between? Do you wait? Do you watch the match?
Some of them that are really extended are the most difficult. Sometimes I've waited, 8 or 10 hours.
Wow.
Just because the way the matches, a couple of matches got slowed up on the loser side, and that's just the way it goes. I usually try to hit balls a few different times.
Yeah.
I don't want to hit balls for 6 hours.
Right, you don't want to wear yourself out.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, definitely want to hit balls for a good 45 minutes to an hour before the match, and if possible, get yourself woke up. And I don't like to sit there and watch the guys necessarily play a ton either.
Right.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's in a good position here now. The one thing is, she obviously has to clear the 9 to open up the 12. Or is that the 10 near the 3 ball? One of those. I think it may be the 10. I think she's shooting the 12 right now. So she could bump the 3 now. With all those options, she could come across and bump those. Okay, so pretty good. Actually, really good. Actually, really, really good. I think she's full enough on the 13. She can draw back to cut the 9. And then get full on the 15 in the side and take the cut shot on the 10. Because once the 9's removed, the 10 will go. The big deal is here, don't catch a piece of this 5 ball coming out of this draw shot. It's important. And I wouldn't go away from my instincts here. Her instincts were 13 ball drawback, 9, 15. Take a little shot on the 10 to end it. Oh, she's going to be upset about that. Did not want to get that thin on the 9. I don't think she did anyways. Now she's looking, does the 15 pass the 3, because she knows she's too thin on the 9 to hold for the 15. So the cue ball is going to run a little bit here. She can keep it on this side of the table, though. Okay, pretty good control. Doesn't want to get elevated over the 8. She stayed off of that. I think she has a little bit of an angle on the 15. Yeah, she does. So she's got to roll this in. Just hold somewhere near the 2 for that ball near the 3, which is the 10 ball. So shot of the tournament, I think, or shot of the match right here. All right, looks like she may elevate and draw this ball. Kind of draw to the side rail between the 4 and the 2. Tough shot. It's kind of another one preference, I think. Okay, she is elevating. So she doesn't want to slow roll this. She wants to go to the rail and pop it in. Okay, so Tina back at the table and really in a real nice position, believe it or not. 15 is very covered up by the 2. Oh, she's going to try and break it out. What a great stroke that was. She's upset about the 2 getting covered up by the 10, but that's okay. The 2 has all 4 corner pockets. Now, right now it doesn't because the 6 is in the way, the 7's in the way, the 1's in the way, the 3's in the way. But once you start to clear those away, corner pockets open up. And she may have the angle on the 6 right now to shoot the 6 in the corner and go up and bump the 2 again if she wants.
The conclusion of this match, we'll take a short break and then we'll be back with the semifinal round. Again, that one of those players will be Stacy Bourbeau. The lady that does not win this rack will be her opponent. I hate to use the term loser, but, you know, the non-winner of this next rack.
The unfortunate person
Yes.
from this match. Okay, the thing that I would concern myself more with is the 4 ball. I think that's much more of a dilemma than the 2 ball is. Kind of by itself over there, and you know you don't want to get thin on it, make it a missable ball of any sort. She kind of got straight on a lot of things here, that being the 7 and the 3. All right, not horrible, but not what she wanted exactly, I don't think. I think she wanted to shoot the 1 and be able to get to the 4 from there, and she still might, couple rails. That's what she's done. Now, is she looking to come into the 2 ball and the 10 here? It's not really too necessary, but you'll notice if she just comes across, the 2 goes in the upper right corner very easily by the 8. So she's taking a little bit of a chance coming into this ball. It shouldn't be a problem, but, oh, she overcut it. She overcut it. She got a little bit of a roll, though. She left a very difficult shot for her opponent, Nathalie.
Coming down to the last few balls here in the hot seat match, the Women's U.S. Amateur Championship. Teresa Garland, we appreciate the compliment and congratulations on another great tournament run for you.
Yeah, Teresa saying, making a statement.
Tied for 5th, right?
Well, she said, I'll be back next year.
Oh, I'm sure she will.
Yeah.
Seen her get better and better every year.
Yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday, that, you know, I would never have called her a fun player by any means, but she really in the last 5 or 6 years really started to come on and take it to another level as far as her game. And she loves pool. Always involved in a lot of things around Texas, competing. And all right, so is she slow rolling this in the corner or is she cutting in the side? Can't quite tell. leveled out with top English, but really do or die now. Okay, and she tried to make it up in the corner, and it was tough. So Tina now, just like in a match earlier when she was trailing, has a good chance to come back and steal another. And I really can't wait, for the final, because I've seen some great pool already from these ladies, but I think that longer extended race is going to get them a little more comfortable.
Race to 9 in the final.
Even though it is the final, so you figure there's a little more nerves because of that. But that longer race really, kind of settles you in, frees the stroke up.
Yeah. Final is a single elimination, so.
Right. Okay. Okay, she can go to the rail and out with a level cue, or she could elevate, try to hold the ball up with a little draw English. She's off the rail plenty if she wanted to elevate the cue a little bit and hold it. Now she decides to go the rail. Either way, really, there's not really any wrong or right. I don't think, especially in pool when you start to get close to the ball, that's when it's really your preference. So
what a comeback this would be for Tina. Originally down 4-1. Now shooting on the 8 ball for the win and a spot in the final. Tina Larsen punches her ticket. We will see her in the final match.
Yep.
Don't count Nathalie out just yet, though. She's going to square off here in a few minutes with Stacy Bourbeau. So we're going to take a quick break, regroup. The ladies are going to get ready for this semifinal match, and we will be back with you. We appreciate you folks tuning in. Come back and join us in just a couple minutes for the semifinal match. Again, Stacy Bourbeau, Nathalie Jacobs. Should be a great one.
Yes, sure should.
Right, Stacy Bourbeau? There we go.
She's ready.
We'll see you in a couple minutes on the stream.